to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Courtesy of Dean Meminger of New York One. Hashtag breaking news. Family of DMX continues to pray for him, but after several days on a ventilator, sources say the family is expected to remove DMX from life support this week. Like with most families in this situation, loved ones continue to struggle with the decision. That sounds very dire and very sad. And we will continue to monitor this situation, as it becomes more official from the family and spokespeople from inside. But this is the current information that was just put out from a reputable source, Dean Meminger. This was at 7:56 a.m. Dean Meminger of New York One. So as we get information, we will continue to share it. Shout out to Lisa Evers also, who continues to be on the scene there at White Plains Hospital. Erica Ford and the Life Camp team was out there yesterday as well with Rough Riders and just the whole community rally around and praying for the bro DMX. It's a very tough time. And us as friends and family and fans, let's just keep DMX in our prayers and thoughts as well as his family.
You know what's frustrating to me?
Yes.
I know everyone's doing their job and trying to give updates, and there's news, and there hasn't been an update really all week. This has been the same story. In reality.
I guess the only thing was real was him breathing on his own.
And that wasn't real.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, it turned out he was not breathing on his own.
So
really there wasn't an update all week, and this is one of those unfortunate situations where I think, listen, I am down to pray for a miracle. So I love seeing the vigil and seeing the Rough Riders out there and the family. Let's pray for a miracle, because every once in a while miracles happen. But the truth is, I've been really down about this since it happened, because it was pretty clear, if you read between the lines starting Saturday, that this was a miracle situation if it was going to get better. So I know everyone has to do their job and report it, but like these quote-unquote updates, it's kind of the same update. It's just about the family, kind of making a decision about whether they think there's hope to hang on to. It's hard, man. This is we've never, Ebro, have we ever gone through this? We've been through so many different sorts of tragic situations in hip hop over the last 20 years. This feels sort of like a unique one. I don't really recall
DMX
this.
is a unique figure and a unique life. So that part, I've actually lived this personally with my father, and it is a tough decision. And so, being that person that has to make that decision, which I had to do, it's something that you have to live with. But, for me, I already knew what my father would have wanted. You know what I mean?
Did that make it a little bit eeasier that you knew there was no doubt?
Of course. Because it wasn't about what I wanted. It was about what I knew. My father was already, dealing with some health issues when he, had to get his legs cut off from diabetes, and was already dealing with his body just kind of deteriorating due to diabetes, that I knew he didn't want that life. You know what I mean? But he was fighting for it, and he was trying to get better. And then when it became, he was the only thing, after he had a heart attack, only things that were working were his lungs. His heart was still working, but his lungs were on a respirator, and he had cardiac arrest, so there was severe brain damage. I knew that, he was just going to be a vegetable, and I knew that's not what he wanted his life to be. And it would have been selfish of me to just have my father in that state to make me feel okay. You know what I mean?
And this is complicated because X has so many kids, different people in his life who love him, I'm sure there's a lot of different voices.
Of course.
So that's got to be hard.
It's very hard.
It was just you and your pops.
Yeah, it was just me.
And that's still hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was my aunt and, nephew, his nephews, my cousins,
Were they all in lockstep with you, though?
On me. Yeah, they were there at the hospital.
And
but
ultimately
it was on me.
And they knew, though, they understood that you knew what his wishes would be.
Yeah, but it doesn't move like that in our family. Like there's there's protocols. And so when When it was time to make a decision, they knew it was my decision to make.
Right.
So, but it's tough because you have to put it's not about you. You know, oftentimes in death, we're thinking about our own existence and what comforts us as the individual and what that person means to us in comforting us. And I've just come from a place of what's going to make this person rest, you know, because the struggle's real. And, you know, my father had a very tough life, you know, 3-time felon in and out of prison, you know, just all types of problems, you know what I mean? But also a lot of victories too. But, you know, I just knew that having him rest was the best solution, especially at that moment where his functionality as a human would have been remarkably, you know, limited. So, you know, I think, you know, and the family's going to have that discussion. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm guessing today with the test that they're doing will be a big, we'll go a long way towards that. But yeah, I mean, listen, keep the prayers going.
It hurts.
Yeah, but I just think we all need to be prepared that this is not, you know, we need a miracle here. That's what we're dealing with the X situation.
So we send love and light and support to everybody out there affected by the story of DMX and the close family and friends who are, you know, dealing with this in a real way. You know, the human, the man, Earl Simmons, who you know beyond what we know, and we support all of y'all. That's from Ebro, Laura Rosenberg, and the whole family here. Hot 97.